So hello, welcome back to another video. Now today I've come out to do something a little bit different. I've done this before on my channel, however I'm yet to do it this year. I've come out to go on a little forage for the next sort of hour and a half to 2 hours. It's the last Ormering tide in Guernsey this year, so we're towards the end of April. I think it's the 20th, 21st, 22nd are the last tides of the year that you can go and forage ormers. Now I've not been a single time this year, and to be completely honest with you, I've not really had any interest. I do enjoy foraging, but I'd rather go fishing on the big tides. So yeah, this is actually my first time out. What happens when you get later in the year, the tides where you can go and forage ormers over here from January to the end of April. So what happens towards the end of April, because all the spots have just been absolutely annihilated, there can be very little ormers around. I know at the start of the season that the guys were getting loads and loads of them. So we might be lucky today. To be completely honest with you, all I want is maybe 3 or 4 keepers. I just want something to cook. If I can find a lobster, that would be a bonus. But yeah, I'm just going to try my luck today, have a little wander around. We've got about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes until low tide. So I'm just going to take it easy really. I'm just out for a wander, have a little cruise around the beach, see what we can find. If we come across anything interesting, I'll show you guys. But yeah, hopefully we can get something to cook up and make a little nice catch and cook at the end of this video. So we're going to check all these little nooks and crannies, any rock that's got a ledge under it. Have a little flick around, see if there's any lobsters or crabs hiding out. And we're just in pools like this, lifting a few rocks, see what's under them. So you can tell that most of these rocks have all been lifted before, because a lot of them haven't been put back. Like you can just tell when people have been through here. There's one person down there a lot closer to the shoreline, but literally it's just me and him here, so people obviously know that this spot has sort of served its purpose for the year. If I remember correctly, I think I remember Jay saying this was one of the places you come at the start of the season, and then you work your way through the other spots as the months go on. But I've just come here today because I knew it'd be quiet, to be honest, and I'm not interested in finding tons and tons of ormers. I just need a couple. There's the first find of the day. Little fishing weight there, always a good find. So this is what we're looking for. This one could be in size. I'll just pick the rock up to give you a better show there. That there's the ormer, or abalone. This one's going to be pushing it, so let's get the measure. So is this going to be in? Oh, that's a keeper. Happy days. Let's just double check that. But there we go. You can see there it's in by about ½ a centimetre. So that's first ormer down. Absolutely beautiful. So we've got our first ormer here. That's what we're looking for today. If I can get 3 or 4 of those, that'll be enough for me. We'll keep roaming around this pool here and see if we can find a couple more. Now I've got my little foraging bag here. Just fits around the waist. This is actually very kindly given to me by Jay last year from Smash Fishing. So tie it around your waist, stick all your catches in there. You can carry on just walking about. Well, there's a tiny little baby one there, just a bit bigger than your thumbnail. But it's tough work. There's not a lot around here. Oh, there's one. That could be a keeper. Let's get the measure. Oh, That's just about in, I think. Look at that. Absolutely spot on. That's literally in by about 1 millimetre, that. Happy days. Another ormer down. Couple of little starfish there. Loads of life under these little rocks that you wouldn't even realise unless you start lifting them. I'm pretty sure there's a conger in here. I ain't getting that out. Pretty sure it's a little whip. Definitely not a lobster. Just found another one here, but I think this one's going to be out. Ooh, that could be in. Let's have a proper look. Now the legal size is 80 millimeters, 8 centimeters, and that's from bottom of the shell to the top. So as you can see, that there is in by about 1 millimeter again. So to be honest, it is quite, 80 millimeter isn't that big. When you're prepping them, you really realise that once you take the meat out, you don't actually get too much out of it. So if you can get them at least like 90 millimeter, that's better. But this one is in size, so I'll hold on to this for now, and if I find any more bigger ones, then I'll let this go. Another little baby one there. Now the surprising thing is, not actually seeing many small ones. This place does seem pretty barren, to be fair. But yeah, usually you'll still see quite a few little baby ones. But really not seen many at all. This rock's been flipped before. Absolutely bare. Now I have been digging around a few lobster holes. Well, I say lobster holes, just ledges under rocks right down next to the shoreline, but I've worked my way back up now. It's actually, well, it's low tide now, 20 to 3, so you've still got quite a while, but I never came down for long today. I only wanted a couple. I can find one more, that'll be good, but if not, 3's plenty to do a little cook. There's a small one. That's not going to be in size, but there's a small one there. It's probably about 60 mil. Nice to see, but not big enough. This stuff looks really cool in the sunlight, and if you take it out of the water, it looks like a light brown colour, but then you put it in the water, it goes like a vibrant blue. Really cool. Well, a short and sweet forage today. I've been down here about an hour or so, seen a few ormers, a few smaller ones, but just got the 3 for myself to do a little cook up, so that's more than I need. As I said, I'm not out to get loads today. I've not been too fussed about foraging this season, so yeah, 3 ormers. We'll do a little cook up. The next part of this video, I'll be either out and about cooking them somewhere, or I'll be back home in the kitchen. So I'll see you in the next part. So I've just got back from my forage down the beach, and I've got my 3 ormers in the sink here. Now first things first, I'm actually going to cook these tomorrow because I'm not going to have time this afternoon. But first things first, we'll get them clean, so I'll show you how you do that. It's very, very simple. They can be a bit tedious if you've got quite a few of them, but luckily we've only got a few, so it's only going to take 5 minutes or so. So we'll get the tap running, get them rinsed off and get them out of shells and all cleaned up, ready to cook tomorrow. Now if I just go through, if I just show one or two of these. Now obviously you've got your ormer here in the shell, these are still alive. Now if you just get a spoon and you can just run the spoon around the ormer like that, and they will pop out. So there we go, there's the empty shell there, there's your ormer. These are all the guts here, so we'll remove that. You have a very tough sort of tendon part here which sticks to the back of the shell. We'll also remove that. We'll scrub all the algae off here. All of this green is just algae, and all of this yellow here is also algae. So we'll get a nail brush, we'll scrub that off just under running cold water, and then when I come to cook them, what I'm going to do is just put them in the fridge once they're ready, and then when I come to cook them, I'm going to bat them out and tenderize them, and then we'll cook them from there. So you just want to remove all the guts. It can be, parts of these are very tough to get off. And then in here, this is basically where the mouth is. So you just want to cut that out and then get the rest of this sort of sinew off. You can clean them up properly once you've given them a good scrub. But just rip the guts off like that. Cut a little V notch out. I just do them quickly like this because basically if you just rip the guts out, cut the mouth out, they're going to die as quickly as possible. And they won't be moving around in the sink when you're trying to clean them. Just run the tap slightly like that. Get yourself a nice nail brush or something, and then just start scrubbing. And you can see that algae comes off fairly easily. And you just want to do the tops of them as well to get all of that off. So you're just left with the nice white meat. These will actually soften up a little bit once they're refrigerated overnight. So when you come to bat them out, they'll be a little more tender. And there we go, that's it. So we'll just dry them out with a bit of kitchen roll. And as I said, we'll bat them out tomorrow when we come to cook them. But they should soften slightly in the fridge overnight. And that's the 3 ormers, all cleaned up, ready to go, ready to be cooked tomorrow. So we'll get those in the fridge, we'll get them cooking sometime tomorrow afternoon. So what I've decided to do with these ormers is just very simply make a very light batter, and we're going to deep fry them. Now I was going to do something a little bit different, however I'm actually going to go out fishing this afternoon. I don't have much time, so I'm going to make something to eat quickly before I go. Show you how to do the ormers. It's very simple, just deep fried in batter. I'm going to have a little bit of kimchi with them, some sweet soy, and anything else I can find lying around. So yeah, I'm just going to make some batter now. Really simple. Now ideally to make a tempura batter you want soda water, but I'm just going to use regular tap water for this. And quite literally all it is just some flour in a bowl. I'm going to add some salt. I'm also going to add It's half a teaspoon mustard powder, like that. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon baking powder, and literally that is it. Cold water, and then you just want to add enough to make it the right consistency. So add a little bit, give it a stir. A bit more water, that should do it. Give that a good mix. I want it to be nice and smooth. And that's it, batter ready to go. Got the almonds floured, ready to go as well, so we'll drop them in here, just heating that oil up. So once that comes up to temperature, we'll get the almonds in and we're good to go. So these almonds are only going to take literally 3 minutes in there. We've had about a minute and a half already. Just flip them over. Give them another minute or so and they should be good to go. Ready to eat, ready to get out fishing. So these almonds are nearly done. Now I'm actually cheating today. Like I said, I don't have much time. So what I've got here is some kimchi. You can just buy this from the supermarket. Now this is just fermented cabbage with things like chili. It's got all sorts in there. It's a Korean thing, but it's absolutely beautiful. And it's going to go pretty well with these. So So there we have it. Easy peasy, 10-minute job. Perfect to prepare when you're in a rush and you want to get out. Now I know there's nothing fancy to this. I've not made the kimchi myself or anything, but it is really tasty, this stuff. It's going to go amazing with these almonds. And like I said, this was the very first time I've been out for almonds this year. I just haven't really bothered. I've not had too much enthusiasm for it, but I thought with the last tides coming up, so that's it, done now. The next Ormering tides won't be until next year in January. But yeah, it was fun to get out just for an hour or so. You get yourself a couple, something to cook up, something to eat. So yeah, it was a pleasant time out. Now hopefully maybe next year I'll go properly at the start of the season when there's a lot of bigger ormers about. They're always so tender when you deep fry them. It's the easiest way to cook them, but it's probably the nicest way. They go so tender. So anyway, I know there's probably not going to be a lot in this video. Just wanted to make a short one, just something a little bit different, and to be able to get an Ormering video in before the tides pass us. So it's been great fun, certainly worth going to get because they're super tasty. Now one day I will do an actual proper cook up. I'll do something really nice. It's just planning it and having the time to do it, and then also trying to film it yourself can be a bit difficult, but I will do one day. This is just a bit of a quick one today, quick and easy, but it doesn't always have to be complicated. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Please stay tuned to my channel, keep an eye out for future videos coming up. If you're not subscribed, go and subscribe if you like the content on there. But yeah, it's been a great one, this one. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Look at that. Cuts through like butter. Beautiful.